many, 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 many more hundreds of eggs are fertilized than become humans. Eggs get fertilized, and by that I mean sperm get accepted by ova a lot. But that's not all you need. You have to attach to the uterine wall, the inside of a womb, a woman's womb. But if you're going to hold that as a standard, that is to say, if you're going to say when an egg is fertilized, it's therefore has the same rights as an individual, then whom are you going to sue? Whom are you going to imprison? Every woman who's had a fertilized egg pass through her? Every guy whose sperm has fertilized an egg and then it didn't become a human? Have all these people failed you?
Bill, I'm going to have to take a page out of my friend Sage of Daniel's book and a page out of the Goodly Dragon's book as well, and say that that is a natural death. You don't sue anybody because it naturally occurred. It would be like this: if an oak tree fell on somebody, you would never see, all rise for the state of California versus that big ass oak tree. Same thing. It didn't stick. No one's responsible for that. Same way if someone fell off of a cliff and died. You wouldn't sue the cliff. Same concept. That's the difference between someone dying and murder, premeditated murder, manslaughter, you know, all that good stuff, all that jazz. Continue.
It's just a reflection of a deep scientific lack of understanding.
Well, no, not really. Considering the fact that no one, at least no pro-lifer other than that, has any qualms about an egg not sticking to the uterine wall, the point almost seems, dare I say, irrelevant to the whole conversation. Why do I say that? Well, I have seen many abortions taking place, and it is a rather disgusting and ugly practice, if I do say so myself. But those are just my subjective feelings. However, the objective reality of the situation when it comes to an abortion is a fetus is being sucked out of its mother's womb. And so a pro-lifer's position is simply that if left to its own devices, that fetus, whether it be a human or not, it will be a human, and preventing it from becoming a human in and of itself is a crime to these people. I mean, it may not be a person, but it's a living organism, right? We can all agree to that. That in and of itself is a crime, and that life, that thing, whatever it be, is worthy of protection. Especially, you know, from its mother. You'd think the mom would not want to do this, you'd think. I'm just saying, you know, you're not really arguing a pro-lifer's position. No one has any qualms about an egg not sticking. They have a problem with ripping a fetus apart or sucking it out of its mother's womb. That's their issue. That's the point you have to argue, Bill.
And you literally, or you apparently literally don't know what you're talking about.
As I previously said, I have seen very many abortions take place. It's very disgusting. I almost cried once. I know, I'm a bitch-ass nigga, but there's something about watching a small little human being ripped apart that just really hurts my soul. Oh wait, I'm sorry, it's not a human being, it's a fetus. There's something about a small fetus having its head crushed that it just hurts me, you know? I know, I'm a bitch. I am a coward and a crybaby. But that really almost gets the tears flowing. You can keep talking.
And so when it comes to women's rights with respect to their reproduction, I think you should leave it to women.
I'm about to step on a couple of toes here, but Bill, lots of men have left it to women to care about their reproductive health. I mean, off the top of my head, let's see if I can name off 5 different ways that women have birth control. Birth control pills, IUD, birth control patch, birth control shot, abstinence. Pretty sure I can get another one really fast. Sorry, but that was 5. I hit my criteria. 5 different ways. Oh, plan B. 6 different ways for women to avoid pregnancy. What do men have? Vasectomies, abstinence, and condoms. Oh, I just remembered female condoms. 7 ways. 7 ways. So, 7 versus 3. Women, men. We have left it in women's hands. And if I'm going to be honest, a lot of them have not been responsible. Henceforth, why they have to get abortions. Which is a really sad procedure. I'm just saying, Bill, with all the options that ladies have for preventing pregnancy, you would think they'd be more proactive in preventing pregnancies. Just saying.
It's really, you cannot help but notice. I mean, I'm not the first guy to observe this. You have a lot of men of European descent passing these extraordinary laws based on ignorance.
Point number one that I must make, Bill, is this. We Americans live in a democratic republic, which means that we have representatives who represent the people of their state. I'm pretty sure you know all of this, right? This is something only like fourth graders should know, right? Okay. I'm sorry, I just have to assume. Because based on what you just said, it kind of implies that you don't understand the concept of a republic. They are representatives. It doesn't matter if these representatives are of European descent. It doesn't matter if they're the aliens from the Alien franchise. It doesn't matter if they're purple-backed gorillas. They're representatives of the will, of the state that they came from. That's what they are. It doesn't matter if they are of European descent, if their skin is pale. It doesn't matter if they're purple. They are representatives of the people voting. What about that concept is lost on some of you people?
Sorry, you guys. I know it was written, or your interpretation of a book written 5,000 years ago, 50 centuries ago, makes you think that when a man and a woman have sexual intercourse, they always have a baby. That's wrong.
First question that must be asked here, Bill, is what book are you talking about in particular? Lots of books were written 5,000 years ago. Talking about the Bible? Well, as it turns out, the Bible is actually a collection of 66 books, originally 77. So which book out of the Bible are you talking about, Bill? I don't even know if we're talking about the Bible right now. I mean, you just said a book. I mean, thousands of books have come into circulation over our millennia. Okay, I'll stop being cheeky. You're talking about the Bible. So then I have to go on to my next point. Next point being, there's nowhere in the Bible that says every time a man knows a woman, a child comes forth. It's nowhere, you cannot find that scripture because it does not exist. Not only that, Bill, but I must say that anyone with any functioning cognitive system or common sense already knows this. They already know that every time you have sex, you don't get pregnant. We know this. This is, dare I say, foolishness for you to even come. I mean, are you talking to 13-year-olds? You're talking to 12-year-olds? I mean, anyone who's an adult has this knowledge, Bill. In fact, there's an entire show called I Was Pregnant and I Didn't Even Know It. I mean, if these women had sex and didn't know they were pregnant, we can come to the logical conclusion that these women obviously knew that every time you have sex, you don't get pregnant. Otherwise, they would have immediately assumed that they were pregnant, and thus there'd be no show to have. I'm just saying, Bill, it kind of sounds like you are arguing with your imagination.
And so to pass laws based on that belief is inconsistent with nature.
Well, it's a great thing that we don't.
I mean, it's hard not to get frustrated with this, everybody.
No, Bill, I'm with you, man. You know, whenever I see fetuses getting ripped apart, it just makes me really sad. Whenever I hear stories of women who have regretted the abortions they have, yeah, it is a hard topic to talk about. It kind of makes me a little sad, you know, and then sometimes I think, what if I got a woman pregnant and she wanted an abortion? What can I do? Can I protect my fetus? No, I can't. I've got nothing. I can't do anything. I can't stop her. My fetus is going to die, and I would have failed my position as a father. That's what I think about. Maybe I think too complexly about reality sometimes. Chances are I'll probably never even be able to have sex with a woman because I'm ugly. I don't fucking know.
And I know nobody likes abortion.
Oh, you would think, but then, you know, you got that whole hashtag talking about shout your abortion, talk about how proud you are that you got one. Kind of have a little bit of evidence to the contrary.
Okay, but you can't tell somebody what to do. I mean, she has rights over this, especially if she doesn't like the guy that got her pregnant.
Yeah, I know. That happens quite a bit. More often than you think it should, Bill. you'd think that maybe now, just maybe, this is just a suggestion, that if women only procreated with men that they liked, or only had sex with men that they liked, we wouldn't have that problem. I'm just saying, I know, it's called personal responsibility, it's called evaluating the individuals that you're having sex with. I know, it's called thinking ahead of time, a skill a lot of people don't have, although, ironically, the education in America did try its best to teach us how to do that. Who would have thought that women are having sex with guys that they don't like? Shit, and here I am on this channel, have said numerous times, don't do that. But, I mean, it's your life. If you want to have sex with people you don't like, I don't know why you would, but do what you do.
Like, she doesn't want anything to do with your genes. Get over it, especially if she were raped and all this.
You know, the interesting thing is, I went to a website, I forgot what it's called, I will put the link in the description box below, and I was looking at their statistics, and as it turns out, of the women studied and the women asked in their surveys, only 1% of the women, the reason why they got an abortion, only 1% of them said that it was because they were raped, which is interesting. Another interesting thing about all that is that in the same survey, same study, only 0.5% of the women said the reason why they were getting an abortion was because of incest. So rape and incest account for 1.5% of the reasons why women are getting abortions. The overwhelming majority of women, about 73% if I remember that statistic correctly, say that they're getting an abortion because they don't think they can take care of it, they don't think the father's going to be involved, or they're not ready to be mothers. Which is very strange. The number one reason why people defend why abortion should be free and legal and easily accessible is because of rape and incest. And ironically, those are actually the least of the two reasons why women choose to have abortions. I mean, imagine if women could only get abortions because of rape and incest. I mean, the amount of abortions, or at least legal abortions, would drop dramatically. I am just saying, as it turns out, those are the facts. At least out of that study in particular. Of course, statistics are all over the place sometimes, so you can take that scientific study with a grain of salt.
So it's very frustrating on the other side. We have so many more important things to be dealing with. We have so many more problems.
I never thought the day would come. You know, I remember back in the day when I was in the 8th and 7th grade, and I'm watching Bill Nye, and we're all like, Bill Nye, the science guy, like everyone in the classroom. I never thought that 7 years later, I'd be sitting here making a video response to Bill Nye. Oh man, reality's a funny thing. Bill, do you know what the word empathy is? See, Bill, because if you did, then you'd be able to empathize that these people think that a fetus is a human being, which either way it goes, it's a living organism, and that ceasing that thing to becoming a human is wrong. And that's a problem. That is an issue for these people, Bill.
To squander resources on this argument based on bad science, on just lack of understanding.
Well, I understand abortion quite well, and it's a rather disturbing practice, if I do say so myself.
It's very frustrating. You wouldn't know how big a human egg was if it weren't for microscopes.
Bill, that's pretty irrelevant.
If it weren't for scientists, who are medical researchers looking diligently.
Bill, that's really irrelevant.
You wouldn't know the process. You wouldn't have that shot, the famous shot or shots where the sperm are bumping up against the egg. You wouldn't have that without science.
That was a really good move, Bill. However, you've activated my trap card. Irrelevant comment! This card automatically activates whenever my opponent says a statement that has nothing to do with the current conversation and immediately dismisses it. Then it allows me to play this magic card. Intelligent reply! This card allows me to make a statement in order to reply to the comment that you just made. Bill, no pro-lifer holds that statement. They believe it is wrong to kill a fetus because left to its own devices, it will become a human being. And with that, Bill, I end my turn, but not before I take 500 of your lucky points, which means you lose the duel!
Oh, no!
So then to claim that you know the next step when you obviously don't is trouble. Okay, let me do that again. Let me just pull back. At some point, we have to respect the facts. Recommending or insisting on abstinence has been completely ineffective.
Well, perhaps for some people, it's been pretty effective for me. But then again, I'm a really ugly person, so maybe abstinence only works when you're ugly? I don't fucking know. However, I do have to say this. If abstinence didn't work, it means the person wasn't abstinent. Just saying.
Just being objective here. Closing abortion clinics, not giving women access to birth control has not been an effective way to lead to healthier societies.
And yet you believe that ripping a fetus out of a woman's vagina shall? What, are you like a eugenicist or something? I mean, what's going on here, Bill? What's going on, man? And also, I have to say this. I haven't seen not one Republican, not one pro-lifer, not one conservative, not one liberal, not one person on the left wing. I haven't seen one person, honestly, ever say that we should prevent women from getting contraceptives. I have seen people say that people shouldn't have to pay, taxes so the government provides women contraceptives. I've seen that, and I have to completely agree with them. I mean, you're a fucking grown-ass woman. You can pay for your own contraceptives. I mean, get the government out of my bedroom, except when I don't want to get pregnant. And come on, get the fuck out of here with that. But, like I said, I haven't seen anyone trying to prevent women from getting contraceptives, so this seems really random to me. I'm just saying.
I think we all know that, and I understand that you have deeply held beliefs, and and it really is ultimately out of respect for people, in this case, your perception of unborn people. I understand that, but I really encourage you to look at the facts, and I know people are now critical of the expression fact-based.
Well, Bill, I have looked at the facts, and the facts are that during an abortion, a living organism will die. That's the facts. And people have an issue with that. I have an issue with that. You keep telling us, I'm looking at the facts, Bill. I'm looking at them. If left to its own devices, it will become a human being, Bill. I mean, I don't know what it is if it's not a human already, but those are the facts, Bill. Come on, man.
But what's wrong with that? So I just really encourage you to not tell women what to do and not pursue these laws that really are in nobody's best interest.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. So I'm just going to leave the audience here with this one thought. It's wrong to tell a woman what to do with her own body. However, it's perfectly fine to tell a man what to do with his own wallet for 18 years, even if he didn't want to be a father. How much sense that makes? I don't know, but hey, it is what it is, right? So with that being said, man, I certainly hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you did, man, go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below, and as always, have a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.